What if I told you that by the end of this video, you could invent a conspiracy theory so believable that strangers would defend it online, argue about it at family dinners, and maybe even make documentaries about it, without a single real piece of evidence? That sounds dangerous, and it is. But here's the unsettling truth. Conspiracy theories aren't born from facts, they're born from patterns in the human mind, and those patterns are predictable. Today, I'm going to show you step by step how an ordinary idea can be transformed into a story millions are willing to believe. Not so you can deceive people, but so you can recognize when someone else is doing it to you. Let's start with something simple, a rumor about a bridge in your town. Imagine I say, that bridge wasn't built for traffic, it was built to hide something underneath. Notice what just happened. I didn't give proof. I planted a question. The human brain hates unanswered questions more than it loves answers. Psychologists call this the curiosity gap. Leave a small hole in a story and people will crawl inside it on their own. A conspiracy doesn't begin with a claim, it begins with emotion, fear, pride, or the thrill of being special. If I add, only a few engineers were allowed near the construction site, the story suddenly smells important. Exclusivity is oxygen for conspiracies. People don't just want information, they want to feel like insiders in a secret club. But emotion alone isn't enough. You need a villain. Every successful theory has a shadowy they. It doesn't matter who they are. Corporations, scientists, celebrities. What matters is that they are powerful and distant. Distance makes motives easy to imagine. The less we actually know about someone, the easier it is to write dark stories about them. Here's where it gets clever. You mix one ordinary fact with two interpretations. Fact: the budget for the bridge was higher than expected. Interpretation A: inflation and delays. Interpretation B: hidden underground project. Both could be true, but only one is exciting. Our brains are wired to choose the dramatic option. Evolution rewarded ancestors who assumed the rustle in the grass was a tiger, not the wind. Never present your theory as a theory. Present it as questions nobody is allowed to ask. This flips skepticism upside down. Instead of needing evidence, you claim that the lack of evidence is the evidence. If officials deny it, that proves a cover-up. If they stay silent, that also proves a cover-up. The story becomes self-sealing, like a jar you can't open from the inside. Real conspiracies also borrow the costume of science. Throw in a graph, a blurry photo, or a technical word like frequency, patent, or classified, and the brain relaxes. Most people won't check the source. We trust confidence more than accuracy. That's why the calm voice in a documentary can be more persuasive than a stack of peer-reviewed papers. Now, let me tell you a short story. In the 1970s, a harmless radio prank in Europe claimed that a popular song contained secret messages when played backward. There was no message, but listeners wanted to hear one, and soon thousands did. The human mind is a pattern-making machine. Give it noise and it will build meaning out of dust. Timing matters more than truth. Launch your idea during uncertainty, an election, a natural disaster, a confusing news cycle, and it spreads like sparks in dry grass. When people feel powerless, a conspiracy gives them a map. A frightening map is still more comforting than no map at all. You also need witnesses, not real witnesses, characters. My cousin worked near the bridge and saw trucks at night. Specific details, even invented ones, feel heavier than statistics. Stories beat spreadsheets every time. And once a few people repeat the tale, repetition becomes proof. Everyone is talking about it, quietly transforms into there must be something there. Here's the darker part. Algorithms love this process. Outrage keeps people scrolling, so dramatic claims travel faster than careful explanations. A calm correction is a bicycle chasing a sports car. By the time experts respond, the rumor has already grown a personality, a logo, maybe even merchandise. Give your theory a tiny escape hatch. Say, "I'm not claiming this is true, just asking questions." That sentence is armor. It allows believers to feel rational while holding an irrational idea. Doubt becomes a badge of intelligence instead of a warning light. But something unexpected happens next. Many creators start as storytellers and end up believers in their own invention. When thousands cheer for your idea, the applause feels like evidence. The line between performance and conviction dissolves. The conspiracy begins to control the author. So, how would you start one from nothing? Open with a mystery, not a statement. Add emotion and a faceless villain. Mix a real fact with a thrilling interpretation. Treat denial as confirmation. Dress it in scientific-sounding clothes. Release it during confusion. Feed it characters and repetition. That recipe has built myths for centuries. And here's the final twist. None of this requires bad intentions. Ordinary people trying to make sense of chaos can follow these steps without realizing it. The real question isn't how to create a conspiracy, it's how to avoid becoming part of one. Next time a story gives you goosebumps and makes the world feel neatly divided into heroes and villains, pause. Ask who benefits from your excitement. Curiosity is powerful, but it should be a flashlight, not a leash. And if you're wondering whether that bridge in our imaginary town really hides something, notice how hard it is to let the question go.